Good evening, everyone. I hope all is well with everyone. I have some breaking news, man, that I want to share with you today. I want to share with you a few things that is going on in the Florence area. And the very first thing that I want to start about talking about today is I want to talk about the truth about the Florence Housing Authority. I want to talk about the truth. I want to share a statement that was made, and this statement was actually made. And what the statement was made is that, first of all, the statement was said that I'm hiding behind Fab News. Everybody knows that I'm the owner of Fab News. Everybody knows that I'm the voice of Fab News. Everybody know the facts when it comes to Fab News, that I am Fab News. I started Fab News as a podcast, and today we have over 6,000 followers, 30,000 clicks in the newspaper. But I want to talk about the housing authority. Let's talk about the facts about Florence Housing Authority. Now, I'm a commissioner on the board, as many of you know, and maybe many of you may not know. I have been fighting and dealing with the politics of this board for quite some time, because the only people that benefits from the board is not the residents. It's the people who are in hierarchy, who are corruptly getting dollars for whatever they are doing. As many of you know, brothers and sisters, want to share with you, man, that listen, there is a lot that is going on in the housing authority that I think that the people of Florence need to know about. First of all, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that we have about 100 residents over at Creekside that is about to be displaced from their homes. They're not going to have a place to stay. And this hoorah and this lying from housing about they're going to put these people in a hotel, they are going to put them in a hotel. They are going to give them a voucher. But let's talk about the facts. When these people receive a voucher, do you realize that Section 8 is years behind? And they said that I'm upset because I want to be the chair and the vice. I don't even care about being the chair or the vice chair. I care about the residents. I've been arguing from day one about the residents. Let's talk about facts here. I sit on the board, and I think that you guys should do the research. If you will go back in June, I went before City Council, and I talked to City Council because the chairman of the board is living in a house that is owned by housing in West Point. Now, why would the chairman of the housing board be living in a house that is in housing? That in itself right there, whether the board think is right, whether the board think is wrong, it is wrong. It is wrong. And in fact, let me say this to you. The house that the chairman is living in, that could be a house that somebody else could be living in. Let's talk about the filth that I shared, the pictures that I shared that they alleges that the housing authority placed on their page that they corrected quickly. No, they did not. That's a lie. That woman lived in that filth for months before she came for the board. And in fact, if you go back to November board meeting, she just came before the board in November. You can look for yourself. You can see that for yourself that this woman came before us, and she actually came before us in November, and she talked about the filth that she had to live in. I want to ask a question. If this woman if they quickly corrected the issue like they said they corrected it, why was this woman before the board in November? And why was she placed in a hotel to live? It's a lie. It's a lie, people. And this is what I want to say. You who are constituent should ask, where's the tax dollars money at? I shared a video, and I will share it tonight. I was fussing with the board because the executive director was paid $10,000. $10,000. It doesn't matter. Listen, it doesn't really matter how people feel or what people think. Let me share this with you. We got Creekside Apartment that's closing down. If the board was doing the right thing for Housing Authority, the building would be inspected every year. And if the building would be inspected every year, there is no way that the building, if it was being inspected every year, we would be at a place where these people are displaced. This board has been stacked by friends and colleagues on the Florence Housing Board. It has been stacked. As I said, we got the chairman living in the house. We got the executive director getting a $10,000 bonus. Plus, she gets a salary that's not even in her contract. It's not in her contract. They're taking trips, traveling all the time. In fact, they're going to Florida this weekend. They're going to Florida this weekend. This weekend and leaving Sunday and coming back Thursday. It's training. Here's the reality behind it. City Council, you should contact Florence City Council. You should demand that they put people on the board who are competent people, who have the interests of the residents at hand, and who is not looking to get favors and travel and do things that they should not do. Listen, call the mayor, call Florence City Council, because there are people on the board that the board is all about them. It's not about the residents. I'm telling you, if the board would do what they should do, then how do we justify? Yeah, we say, okay, it's all right. I'm going to release the tape immediately after I get off here. The executive director was given $10,000. I don't care if they want to say it's a bonus. I don't care what they say it is. It's wrong. It's wrong. How do you give somebody a bonus for doing their job? That's your job. And here's the reality. I'm calling for City Council to disband this housing board. They need to disband this housing board because this board will allow the people in leadership to do whatever they want to do. Listen, we spent $5 million, people. $5 million. Now, here's what I challenge the Housing Authority to do. They got on and they said that this woman was in this apartment for a short period of time. Defend this. Tell the people why we spent $5 million in a building, and now we got people that is displaced. We could have took that $5 million and bought housing. That's what we should be doing. We should be in the business of putting together affordable housing. They're always talking about building. How do we build new when we don't even take care of what is old? How do we build new? If you go to the Florence Morning News, you will see a 10-year plan that was just released from the Florence Housing Authority. 10 years, what they're going to do. Listen, you're going to do something in 10 years when we've not taken care of Creekside. We've not taken care of the apartment on June Lane. There are so many of our apartments that is dilapidated, but we're going to build new apartments? No, that's foolish. Let's take care of what we got, which is old, and then we can then we can start to build new. Matter of fact, why don't we partner with the city? You know why we won't partner with the city? Because nobody can get their hands greased. The city has a $25,000 if a person buy a home. Why have we not moved these people from renting to buying property? You know why? Because nobody cares. And it's passionate to me. And yes, I'm fighting for the resident. Yes, I raised Cain for the resident. Yes, because guess what? I never got on the board for Gerard Moultrie. I got on the board for the residents. And everybody else that's on the board should get on the board for the residents. We have an attorney that should be working for the board, but he works for the ED. He tells them how to do the wrong thing. He never says anything. The attorney is listen, our attorney is getting paid by the hour and a retainer fee. There is no other attorney that is doing that. None. Do the homework and look, there is none. That retainer fee, I don't know what that is about. But here's what I will say. We should be demanding answers from the board right now. The commissioner should release a statement. You know why the Florence Housing Board didn't release a statement yet about the housing situation over there with Mo? Because they can't. We don't know. Half of the time, we don't know what. I'm a board member, and I can tell you right now, I don't know. The executive director and her staff, they do whatever they want to do. And the board has been stacked. As I said, the chairman of the board is living in a house that belongs to the housing authority in Westlake. People, that's a problem. We got all these senior citizens who's about to be displaced, who's living in a hotel, and we spent $5 million on a building that's way out here. We're spending money on bus passes. Now, if the housing authority want to say I'm a liar, defend that. Come back, come live. I challenge any one of them. Meet me, call Tanya Brown. We can sit at the table, we can talk about it. But I bet you they won't. I bet you their board member won't come forward and talk about it, because guess why? It's facts what I'm telling you. I'm telling you it's fact. We got a resident who's on the board that should be appointed by the resident. Why hasn't the resident went over there and met with those people from Creekside yet? Why? The mayor put on the board for the purpose of the resident. Why hasn't she went over there and met with those people? Why? You know why? Because it's all a game with these people, man. We should be demanding answers. Each one of us should be demanding answers like, hey, what is going on? Why is all these old people, they're going to be displaced? And I'm going to tell you what they're going to do with these people. They're going to take these old people, put them in the hotel, and once they get them in the hotel, these people out of housing here. That's wrong. It is wrong on so many levels. We riotously spend the money from housing authority. Riotously. $5 million we put in the building. We leasing a bunch of cars over there right now. Drive by the housing authority. You'll see, all those white cars, we leasing them. Why? Housing authority got plenty of money. They don't need to be into no leasing. They don't need to be into no game. These are games that we're playing with the people of Florence. And I demand all of you, my viewers, call your city council. Say, hey, what's the deal? Won't y'all disband that board? We got over 100 and something old people who are going to be homeless. You hear what I say? Homeless. Older people going to be homeless. How dare you, a couple of days before Christmas, go tell these people you need to get out and go stay in a hotel. You need to go to a hotel. That's a problem. And it should be a problem with every one of us who are watching. We're taxpayers. We're taxpayers, and we should be concerned about these old people who are displaced, have nowhere to go, and they don't even have a clue. They have no clue. We went out there and talked with them yesterday. These old people say all they're told, they got meetings. Come downstairs for a meeting. They tell them no recording. They don't give them anything in writing. I encourage all of you, call the house and tell them give you something in writing. I bet you they won't. You know why? I have challenged them from day one I got on the board. I fought them about the chairman living in the house. I fought them about the ED being paid $10,000. No, I don't fault the ED because she didn't steal it. They gave it to her. The board gave it to her. Listen, it's wrong. You get a salary. If you get a salary, you don't need that. And on top of that, listen, we as board members, I'm a board member. I'm a board member, and we don't even know what the ED made. You know why? Because it's the clique of them. They go and they do whatever they want to do, and they come to us and they tell us, and I'm one of the only ones that voice my opinion. And I tell them it's wrong. I tell them it ain't right. And I challenge anybody who's watching me. I challenge anybody to meet me at housing. I challenge anybody to come to the meeting. We should have a private meeting. We fuss with the ED all the time about a private meeting. What do we have to hide? What are we hiding? We want to take our meetings and put them behind a glass door so nobody can come in and talk to the board. Nobody can voice their opinion. If we got a private meeting, is it really public? Is it public if they got to go through things? I had a young lady I invited to the meeting to tell the board about it. Guess what happened? They took the young lady. They didn't let the young lady come before the board. And this is all I'll say, but I'll tell you this. It's wrong on so many levels that these old people are going to be displaced. These old people have nowhere to go. They're not going to have a home. But guess what? The board go home every night to their house. The board was put in place to be the ED boss. And it's like the ED is our boss. I'm one person. I don't vote for it. I don't go along with the foolishness. I don't go along to get along. I stand alone for the residents. And I will fight for the residents. And you know what happened? Board members get this, they get frustrated, they get upset, they quit, they get off the board. If you don't do what they tell you to do. Can I tell you, they even had the nerve to write me a letter and tell me to get off the board? Listen, these facts. These are facts. Now, anybody can check me who want to check me. If I'm lying, call me to the carpet owner. Come live and show me that I'm lying, because I'm telling the facts. We spent $5 million in a building, $5 million in a building that we didn't even need. But guess what happened? These people are displaced. These senior people, your grandmama, my grandmama, somebody grandaunt, somebody granddaddy, they're displaced. And nobody's concerned about it. Ain't nobody talking about it. No news media talking about it. You know why? Because most of them are African Americans. If they were not African Americans in the African American community, they'd be raising hell about those people. It's wrong. On so many levels, it is wrong. How dare you have a heart to disband these people and have no way for these people to go and not even come far? They didn't even have a decency to come. Listen, if you look on the website, they're not even talking about the displacement. They post everything else on the website. They celebrate the ED 6th birthday. They give her this. They give her that. Listen, why don't you talk about it? Why don't you release a statement? Not to the media. Come forward. Have a press conference. I challenge you. Have a press conference. Call the media in. Let the people ask you some questions. If you don't have anything to hire housing authority, why don't you call a press conference in front of the building and tell the people, tell the taxpayers why you closing this building down? Show the taxpayers the proof that the building got mold in it. I'm a board member. I hadn't seen it. I have not seen it. And so just like if I hadn't seen it, tell them call a press conference. Tell them call a press conference and tell them to go ahead and tell them call a press conference and tell them to call out. Show you that there's mold in the building. Let them answer the questions for the people. Let them answer the questions for the media. Exactly. I bet you they won't do it. You know why? Because it's all fun and games and lies. Y'all take care and have a good night.